Hello, Nintendo Star Power here. And I was watching some Amazing Atheist videos, and I meant to make this video a hell of a lot earlier, like months, but I just kind of like threw it away. But then I decided, yeah, you know what? Let's take up on Amazing Atheist little challenge offer, whatever. Be telling you my cop stories. Some of them are dinky, some of them are not. Whatever, little entertaining stories, whatever. Dealing with the cops and all that. And yes, I'm still a teen, but I still have cop stories. So, here are my cop stories. Hope you enjoy. Cop story number 1. Now, this one was quite early in my childhood, 2nd grade. I believe so. Well, I used to live across the street from the school I used to go to. And I just lived in an apartment, and I was like, hey, okay, I'm going to school. And I just walk like 100 feet, and then I'm there. Really. And, that's when my parents were still together. And, I really never could have dealt with the cops, because, well, young age, kindergarten, 1st grade, because usually my dad never gets tickets or never gets pulled over by the cops ever, and I usually is ride with him. He's usually the designated driver of the family. But then I found out in 2nd grade that my mom, there's a reason why my mom wasn't the designated driver. She has horrible luck with cops. Like, even to this day, cops just keep on pulling her over no matter what. Some of these stories I'm even telling you in the later of the video involves her. But anyway, 2nd grade, I moved to a little town across a busy street from the school. Like, there was a road that was my school was on, and then there was an intersection, sort of. And that was a busy street. You know, just like one of those main streets that everyone goes on. And it was in the Chicago area, so of course it's gonna be busy all the freaking time. And I lived in the town on the other side, so I couldn't walk to school. And I missed the bus one day, and the buses were really stupid. There was only one bus for that school, and it was my bus. I think 1 or 2 buses maybe, and it was not a short bus. It was not a regular sized bus. It was like a medium bus. Not because of stupidity, because so very few kids went on that bus. Like, the bus driver actually, there was no stops. It went to person's house to person's house to person's house. It went to houses. Yeah, a little sad. Anyway, I missed the bus one morning. My mom drives me to school. We are not even 50 feet away from the school. We are across the we get pulled over across the street and a little bit away from the school. And the cop comes, and I'm like already a minute or 2 late. But my mom, I didn't really hear anything of the conversation with the cops. Not because of my kid expansion. I couldn't pay attention, but that's not the reason why. The reason is my mom actually told me, we're close enough, just go to the school. I'll deal with the cops. Okay. And I just went to the school. First time ever seen a situation with me with a cop. Well, it was like my mom with a cop. First time, 2nd grade. Cop story number 2. Me and my friends go to the park, right? I'm like 13 by this time, 14. Now, there is probably cop stories and before then, but apparently I can't remember them. So I'm just going with the next one I can remember. Get away, fly. Anyway, so me and my friends go to the park, and one of them has a slingshot, okay, whatever. You know, just one of those crappy plastic ones. The rubber ones is like, yeah. So yeah, we had that, and we're just screwing around. And there is this guy who lives right next to the park. He still lives there to this very day. He hasn't been screwing with us lately, because we never go there anymore, because people are separated. I go to different places, and there was just no time to go there, except for my own personal gain. But anyway, that's not the point. The guy who lives next to the park, he thinks he's fucking Mr. Neighborhood. No, he's just like, he watches over the park like a fucking creeper. Like, he watches if anyone's doing anything wrong. And, you know, and then, you know, Christmas time comes around, and then he has, like, the fucking brightest freaking house ever. Like, you know it's his house from the freaking plane. It's just like, hey, look, pedophile, you know? But anyway, so we were screwing around, and one of my friends, who brought the slingshot had a slingshot, had a rock. He didn't fling it at his house. No, we could have. No, we flung it at the lake behind the park. And there was houses like around the lake, but the rock was not going to reach that far. And we were trying to shoot at the lake. The guy sees, he comes over, he yells at us like, oh, it's illegal to bring the slingshot here. I'm like, if we're using it for lethal use, yes, but no, we were shooting it at the pond. He starts yelling at us like, how old are you? I'm like, 14. And then my friend's like, oh, I'm 17. And then we just say our ages, and there's only a couple people who are like 12, 11. Like 2, 1, I don't know. I don't remember. But he's like, oh yeah, this park is only for 12 and under. It's like, that's not state law. A park's a park. Anyone can come here. And then he starts yelling at us, and we say stuff back. I don't even remember, but he walks to his house. He threatens to call the cops. So we're just chilling, and the cop comes. Now, let me tell you, there are a couple cops I actually do like, maybe 2. One of the cops I actually do like that I knew, came. And he's like, okay, I have a report of a slingshot in misuse or something like that, or whatever. It's like, oh yeah, we have a slingshot. We're not even using it right now. It's just right there. We were shooting at the lake. It's like, oh, okay, whatever. And he just walks away. The cop is like, okay, well, don't do anything stupid, and just walks away. I'm like, awesome. Like, it's just like, it's kind of revealing. It's just like, we did something wrong. We did something that might have been wrong, but not really, and we could have got an asshole cop that really wanted to get us. You know, we get the cool cops just like, oh, okay, you're just screwing around, okay. And just freaking goes. That was a great cop experience with me. Cop story number 3. 1, 2, 3, 3. Okay, okay, well, let me remind you, I probably did, if I remember correctly, was with my mom when we get pulled over all the time. Sometimes I don't remember. So, anyway, me, my mom, and her friend, and I think her friend's son, we all go see Dan Aykroyd, right? Because he was at the Hollywood Boulevard. He voiced Yogi in the new Yogi Bear movie. It's not new anymore. I'm just used to saying that because I was explaining the story before, like when it first happened. So I'm explaining it to you guys like I'm explaining it to my friends. But anyway, we went to see. We got autographs. We talked to him. Yeah, great. And it was a great week to be sick. That sucked. It was winter. I had like a freaking heavy jacket. Anyway, we go see the movie, and we drive home. We kind of had dinner with him, not really. But anyway, regardless, we drive home. It was just me and my mom in the car. We're driving home. We get pulled over by a cop. We get pulled over. My mom's like, okay, what did we do wrong? I was obeying the speed limit. I had everything working. I wasn't doing anything illegal. What's wrong? Your license plate light is out. My back light? I'm pretty sure my back lights are no. Your license plate light. Wait, which light? So she actually walked out. He actually showed her. He's like, oh, well, we were trying to get that fixed. I didn't even think that was a law. You really are griping at me for a license plate light? Are you serious? So then, yeah, then he gives us a warning after she stops bitching at the cop. Reasonably angry. We drive away. Not even 5 minutes later. I'm like, son of a bitch, and then my mom pulls over. She's laughing her ass off. The cop's like, are you okay? It was a different cop. She pulls out the warning ticket. He's like, not even 5 minutes ago. Not even 5 minutes ago I was pulled over. See, look at the time. The cop's like, okay. Well, your front light's out. Wait, it's not the license plate light this time? No, it's just your front. I was like, wait, what? And she starts laughing her ass off because her front light was out, her left side light was out. She's just laughing, and he looks at it, he just kind of hits, he's just like, and turns back on and is like, oh, okay, well, there we go, and he just leaves. They didn't give us a ticket, they didn't give us a warning, because now it works. He just hits it. It was an old guy, so, you know, he was kind of cool, but, you know, he hits it, he walks away, like, oh, okay, I guess it was just a short circuit. And my mom's laughing, and then we just drive off. But the thing that just stuns me is that we get pulled over twice in 5 minutes. Like, the cops didn't. I think that's a new record, getting stopped before 5 minutes hits. Again, twice in one night, and not just like an hour apart where it could be reasonably, you know, sensible. No, 5 minutes. It was hilarious. Cop story number 4. I had last year, like last summer actually, I was dating this one girl, and she lived in Shady Oaks. Well, okay, you guys don't know where that is. It's like, if I'm walking, if I'm walking, it's like an hour walk. If I'm biking, it's probably like 30 minutes. If my dad drives me, it's 10 minutes. So for a walk, it's quite far, and I used to walk there every single day. And we walk back, and my dad usually gives her rides, right? But on this day, she actually biked over to my house with a friend. She actually biked here. I usually go over there, grab her, and we usually come back here. Then it's me, her, and usually one of my other friends. Hey, look, I'm bleeding. Anyway, but her and her friend actually bike here, and so then we're just chilling for the day. Then it's time for my dad to take her home. But my dad has a 1990 Chevy Silverado, no back seats, so only 3 people could fit in the front. But it was me and 2 other people, and then my dad. My dad was the driver. And what we used to do as when I was a kid and he was a kid, what we used to do, because when I was like, 5, 3, 4, we used to, live down in the middle of nowhere in the country where it was legal to sit in the back of the pickup and drive away. And we used to always do that. But apparently now it's a law. You cannot be in the back of a pickup if you're not 16 or older. We did not know that. So we put the bikes in the back of the pickup, and then it's me, my girlfriend, and her friend. We're sitting in the back. And we're just sitting in the back, we're chilling. And we see a cop car which was an undercover cop car, but it was at night, so we didn't even notice it was an undercover cop car. We were just like, hey, that looks a little bit familiar. Because you know how undercover cop cars, they're either so out of place, it's like, oh yeah, it's freaking undercover. Or it's so undercover where you can't tell when it's night. When it's day, you could easily tell because, you know, it has some extra stuff that we won't even think about. Plus, we could see inside, so we'd be like, oh, yeah, it's a cop. But anyway, we get into the subdivision. And this cop's been following us for a little bit. We get into the subdivision. She finally rings her sirens, and we're like, son of a bitch. And then she asked our age, 14, 13, alright? Ugh. Anyway, so she asked our age, she talks to my dad, and I couldn't hear the conversation, but I'm just sitting here, I'm like, I didn't think this was illegal. I used to always do this. I didn't think this was actually illegal. So we're just chilling there in the back of the truck, and then she actually takes my dad's license, does all that stuff, and then his license was taken away for a little bit, so he had to go in court and get it back, because that was like the first time he got pulled over in like 10 years. So I actually felt kind of bad. But then she's like, well, I cannot have you in the back here, so can you guys move to the front? I'm like, her house is like over there, 500 yards that way. Probably not even. It's over. Her house is over there, and so you can't let us stay here for a little bit. Plus, it's illegal for a 3-seated truck to have 4 people. And she didn't care. She just forced us in there. I'm like, okay, whatever. So I'm in the middle. I have Alyssa, or I have my girlfriend. I'm trying not to use names here. I have my girlfriend on my lap, which is illegal. But the cop apparently wants us to do the less illegal thing, I guess. I don't even see. Like, it's illegal at one point for us to be in the back if we're 16 or older. It is not legal to have 4 people in the front no matter what age you are. So I don't see her logic behind that. But, stupid cop, whatever. So the cop goes away, and we have 4 people in the front, and my girlfriend's sitting on my lap, and my dad's just laughing over the whole situation. Later, he kids got pissy, but whatever. So we drop them off, and we go home. I just found that whole situation just stupid. How she wants us to go in the front, even though that's even more illegal. Well, she can't just, like, most cops probably just saw us like, okay, whatever. But no, she had to make sure that we were of age, and if not, she was probably bored like all cops are who pull people over. It's like, oh look, something, you know, and it also bothers me that she didn't freaking ring her sirens until we actually got close to the freaking house, or trailer. So, you know, stupid cops, you know. Cop story number 5. Me and 2 friends, and one of them, I kind of use the term friend loosely because he's a complete jackass. But we are just chilling in front of the lawn, front of the house. I was chilling in front of one of my friend's house, not the one that is not much of a friend. But anyway, apparently a couple days prior to this day, my two other friends were walking, and my friend decided to pull out his BB gun, which looked real, because we took off the orange tip and we made it look real. And he pulled it out, and he was like going like this right next to the busy road. He actually pointed at the car at a point, and he was just doing that. So then a couple days later, we see cops roaming the subdivision, and then he comes. They kind of go like a sigh of relief. I'm like, you guys are stupid. The cop comes back. I'm like, here we go again. And I have a switchblade with me, because we were throwing it out of a box. Because, ghetto game, come on. And by the way, at this point I'm not living in Chicago. Okay, just telling you that. I should have told you that a while ago, but, well, here we are. So I'm just sitting in the lawn chair, just, and the cop comes up, and he's like, we heard something about a kid who matches your description, blonde hair, and he was, apparently Will, he was wearing the same hat and same pants he wore on the day of him fucking around with the BB gun. It's like, yeah, we heard someone called in about a gun getting pointed at them at the sign, and then they kind of like explained the story in like a half-ass detail kind of way. The real story was he purposely pointed at that shit, but the story that he gave nervously. Now by this, I dealt with cops before, obviously. There was probably other stories that I probably left out because I can't remember. But anyway, so I'm just calm and just like, whoops, I hit the camera. Anyway, I'm just calm, I'm flipping, and I'm just kind of like repeating what the cop says, you know, in great detail, because usually they don't get it. I'm like, yeah, it could look lethal, so it doesn't matter what they do, what you do, or what it is. If it's lethal, you could, you know, get screwed over for that. You know, making more sensible for them. But his story, nervously, was, he was just looking at he pulled out the gun, he was just looking at it. And it might have looked like he was, you know, trying to kill someone or something. Some kind of stupid crap like that. And the cop's like, can you get down your information? I'm like, ah, fuck, here we go. So, you know, phone number and name, phone number, and that kind of crap for the first two. I'm like, by the way, I wasn't there. It's like, yes, okay, I get that, you're not in trouble. But I still need your information. I'm like, fine. Then I give him my crap. The cop, I'm pretty sure the cop felt bad for Will, because he was really nervous. He was like, he was kind of shaking a little bit, and you could tell in his voice that he was like nervous. You know, he was just kind of like in his head constantly, oh shit, this is gonna go bad. And I knew nothing was gonna happen, because I know how cops are with situations. Like, for how many times I've dealt with cops before this moment, which the next story is going to be before this. I didn't put it in order because I think that story would be more exciting. I'm just kind of used to it now. And I think that cops will like have me on record already, but apparently not. So now they do, because they have my phone number and name, and I think they have my email. I don't remember. I haven't gotten any emails from them yet. But I'm just like, yeah, if these two do anything stupid, call me. Or anything. They're like, okay, whatever. And I'm just sitting there, I'm just like, you guys are stupid. And I just found it funny how the cops actually search around for someone who used a BB gun. That looked real. Cop story number 6. We are driving, me and my mom are driving to Wisconsin. Now this is not the more entertaining story. That's gonna be next, I think, if I'm thinking it right. We're driving to, what was it, Oshkosh? You know, 3-hour drive. Halfway through, my mom, we had to wake up like early in the morning. I got to her house at like 2 in the morning. I went to sleep at 3. I woke up at 6. So I got 3 hours of sleep before this, and then I didn't feel like sleeping after that. But anyway, we are driving with traffic, not paying attention to the actual speed amount, you know, our speed. We were just driving with traffic. And apparently we were driving 80 miles an hour. We were with everyone. People were passing us. We weren't really passing anyone. We were behind everybody. We were in last of the line. And we were just going with a group. That's we were going 80 and a 65. We were driving with everyone else. But now we have an Illinois license plate. So of course, for going 80, going for it with everyone else, we get pulled over on the highway. So we get pulled over. My mom's like, "Okay, what the hell did I do wrong?" You know, my mom always does that. And the cop's like, "You were going 80 and 65 out." And she was like, we were following traffic, but yet you pull me over? Like, "Oh, I just caught you, so you don't want to pull over." And if I was my mom, I would have said something, be like, "You're probably just pulling me over for a Illinois license plate, you jackass." But she surprisingly didn't go overboard with it. She was pissed, but she wasn't that. No, she was that pissed, but she held it in. Not much, but she still held it in. She's like, "Okay, well, I was following traffic. Like, yeah." The cop was like, "Were you paying attention to your how fast you're going?" Like, "No, I was just following traffic. So why are you pulling me over? If I was with traffic, it's like, 'cause I caught you." And then he gives her like ticket and information, $200 ticket, and give him information. It's like, "Okay, you could go on the website. Like, is there a phone call? Like, you could call them. You could do all this. You could do all that." It's like, "Where's their email?" I don't know. It's not on there. Just, "What's their phone number?" I don't know that either. So you're wanting me to try solve this in court, or mail it in, but you won't give me any information except for the ticket itself? Great. And he also sees my mom's windshield, which was cracked. It's been cracked forever. It was actually my grandma's car prior to this. But it was cracked, had 2 cracks, and the cop's like, "Oh yeah, by the way, you might want to fix that windshield." I was like, "Yes, I'm trying to. Wait, this ticket's $200? If I don't have $200 to fix my freaking windshield, how am I gonna have the money to pay this damn ticket?" And the cop's like, "I don't know." The cop was a really ignorant cop, really. He was just like, "Oh, I don't know." He's like, "Oh yeah, you might want to fix that too." He was like, "Oh yeah, here's a ticket for going as fast as everybody else, but you're in Illinois. But you're an Illinois citizen going into Wisconsin." You know, he was an ignorant asshole. But you know, he's like, "I don't know how you're gonna do that, but here you go." He just leaves with giving us minimal information. And then we finally go on our merry little way with an hour and a half more to freaking go. Great. Cop story number 7. Last one. This one time, me and my friends go to the park, right? And we bring fireworks. Not illegal fireworks, not the little like smoke crap, like a care package type of thing. Little smoke grenades type of shit. And we're throwing it around, we're fucking around, we're just like, "Ah, care package, huh?" And you know, we're being stupid. And apparently there was a lady walking her dog, and she sees us, she walks away, and then we see a cop coming. I'm standing on the bench, they're just sitting, one of my friends is sitting, when the other one's standing, and they're kind of big. I'm the skinniest one of the group. No offense to anyone who's big. One of my favorite YouTubers are like three of me. Anyway, cop comes like, "We just got called here for illegal use of fireworks." I'm like, "Well, we weren't using really fireworks, but I guess you could say that." I was like, "Yeah, one of my partners come here to body check you and crap." I'm like, "Oh, great." not one other cop, but two other cops come. So they have three cops there for harmless fireworks that aren't actually fireworks. And one of the cops was like kind of like the nice cop, you know, kind of like the nice asshole. Like, he was calm, but he was also an asshole. And then the other one that came, he was just a complete douchebag. I was just standing, he's like, get off the bench. I'm like, fine. And he's okay, empty your pockets. I'm like, well, I said I don't have any of the wicks or anything you claim I have. Like, empty your pockets. I'm like, okay, fine. But then I gave him an attitude about it. I'm like, I take out my wallet, I throw it to the ground. I take out my phone, I throw it to the ground. I take out my lighter, throw it to the ground. I'm just like, okay, here's my shit. Here we go. Here. I am empty. I have nothing in my pockets. So I'm still gonna have to check you. And you know, I'm giving them absolute no respect for this. They go ask my friend. He's like, okay, I'm gonna check you. He's like, I don't have pockets. Even though he's wearing a sweatshirt and he's a big guy. I think that would be the first person you'd check, really. It's like, oh, I don't have pockets. Whatever. Yes, he does. He doesn't have any pants pockets. He wasn't wearing any pants with pockets. But whatever. Then he goes to my other friend. He had jeans on, so of course he has pockets. And he just raised his arms kind of like lazy like. And they kind of like, they vaguely searched him. They're just kind of like, looked in the pocket and made his arms go down. Now I tried to do what he did, just go lazy because I didn't want to put it all the way up. This cop grabs my arms, puts it over my head, like this, and they're thoroughly searching every part of my body. They go all around me, they're grabbing my ass. You know how cops are, you know, molesting people for stupid shit. They're checking every part of my body, fucking going deep in my pockets, search around every damn pocket. Every pocket. Then they search up here. I'm wearing a shirt like this, dude. No pockets at all. I don't see what I could be having on me. But yeah, they thoroughly searched this. It was like, okay, you're good. And before this, they were like, oh, let me remind you. If you have any wicks, you could be charged. Like, and they were like, why do you have this lighter? Well, in my head I was like, you guys are stupid. But I actually out loud said, I don't know, I'm a little bit of a pyro. By the way, you got called here for fireworks. I don't think they're bullshitting with that. Oh, by the way, there's a firework right there. And I have a lighter. Put two and two together. And they sit us down. I was like, okay, yeah, oh, by the way, there's stuff over there and stuff over there you littered. And oh, by the way, vandalism. I was getting accused for vandalism, which I didn't do. I could have, easily, but I didn't. So they still yelled at me for that. I'm just sitting there like, I'm just chilling. It's like, what's your problem? Like, nothing. You guys are just stupid. It's like, what? I'm like, nothing. Whatever. It's pointless to argue with you anyway. So you're just gonna take me home after all this, and then my dad's gonna be like, oh, he's gonna call me a freaking idiot. Then after I explain to him after what's going on, he's gonna call you guys an idiot, and they didn't care what I was saying at this point. We have to pick up all the litter of the park, and after I was done, I'm like, okay, can I go now? I was like, no, we have to take you home. Where do you live? I'm like, well, I'm staying at his house for now. And he's like, no, I have to take you home. Like, all my shit's over at his house. It's like, no, I have to actually take you home. I'm like, okay, you know what, fuck you, okay, take me home. This is live over there. And then he was trying to have small talk with me in the car. I was giving him vague little tidbits of information. So I get pulled over. My dad is outside with the neighbor, and I get driven in, and I get out of the cop car. He's like, oh, there was a report of fireworks, and I explained to my dad. My dad was like, oh, okay. And then my dad drives me back to my friend's house. And then I talked to my friend's dad, who also didn't give two shits in the fuck. He didn't give two tugs of a dead dog's dick about any of this. He was like, oh yeah, cops are stupid. Everyone gets driven home at least once. I'm like, very true. And this is not the first time. But, yeah, there we go. So those are my cop stories. I hope you liked. And this is probably going to be on either Nintendo Store Power or MultiKrage. I don't know. You guys obviously know. It depends on if MultiKrage allows more than 15 minutes. But anyway, Nintendo Store Power and or MultiKrage. Signing out.